Hello YouTube, Spectre N7 here. I am going to take some time to go through the internals of a stock Hurricane blaster because I've checked on I've done various searches on YouTube and various searches online, and no one's really talked at any significant length about the internals. Now they are quite simple, but I thought it might be useful for people to have this kind of guide here. So clamshelling the shell open takes just 8 of these hobby screws, nice and easy, they're all the same length. You've got a little faux guide barrel here which just comes straight out. It's got notches on the front so you can make sure that you put it back in the right way round, and they sort of line up with this notch here. Now the flywheels themselves are injection molded plastic. They have a very slight concavity which you can see there. Not significant, but definitely they're not just flat, which might be good. The entire thing is wired with 20 AWG, so that's 20 gauge silicon coated multi-strand hobby wire, which is a nice change from the kind of angel hair stuff we get in things like, well, the standard Nerf blasters. Now 20 gauge wire will take 35 amps for 10 seconds before it becomes problematic, which is fine for this kind of blaster design. I imagine that the worker motors are not drawing anywhere like the kind of high current stall that we expect from things like Fang revamps or Krakens. But if you are planning on replacing these motors with a higher amperage draw stall current, you might want to consider replacing the wire so the wire doesn't give you parasitic resistance. The circuit is a push to... So I'm probably going to screw up the terms of this, but basically this circuit is not like standard Nerf triggers where you pull the trigger and push the switch to open the circuit. In this one, when you are pulling the trigger, it releases the switch. So basically, instead of it being wired to the normally open, it's wired to the normally closed. So when you open that, the switch goes live and the motor starts revving, and then this pusher arm pushes the dart into the flywheels. Now this switch is rated 5 amps at 250 volts. That's okay, but that is probably to me going to be the weak point in the system. That is what I imagine will fail first through extended use. Again, if you are planning on doing a motor upgrade to this blaster, you probably want to look at replacing that switch because obviously you're getting current arcing across it every time you use it, and that's not great. So replacing it with something like a Cherry DC2, or maybe wiring a MOSFET into this so that you're not actually putting a huge amount of strain on this circuit is probably the way forward. Now the battery tray, this is just a standard AA battery tray and it's just wired onto the tabs, so replacing an XT60 into this is going to be super easy. But yeah, I just thought it might be helpful for the community to have a full look at the internals of this. If you found this useful, please do say in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Spectre N7.